morning everybody. I want to show you what I have been up to knitting wise and my Christmas socks. I wasn't able to show you last time because they were in the laundry, and here and there some Anna Knitter updates for Vlogmas, so to say. Okay, yesterday I had a knitting heavy day because I wasn't feeling so well, and usually on these days I take a step back, take it slowly, eat a lot, watch a lot and knit a lot. I was watching Daily Wire, PragerU, and in the evening I was watching a Netflix documentary about Xanax, which was very interesting because as I understood, Xanax usually is prescribed against panic attacks and similar symptoms, and I was shocked because I don't know how it's nowadays, but I suffered from panic attacks for weeks, months even, and they were very bad. But panic attacks aren't harmful. They feel very harmful, but nothing is happening. You think you die, you think you get a heart attack, you think you can't breathe, but these are all make-believes of your body. Your body is in stress, but nothing will happen to you. Nothing. And I don't know how it's nowadays, but no one in Austria, I had them in Austria, and I think no one in Germany would have prescribed those heavy medications to me. No one. My therapist told me I had to work out, be in nature, do what I love, so to try to get in the flow moment, go on with therapy and meet people. And I did that, and I got rid of my panic attacks, and I haven't had one ever again after I trained all these things. And then you have to train resilience to avoid panic attacks in the future. And I was so shocked because I'm sure if I went to a therapist in the US with the problems I had, I would be Xanax addicted too. I'm sure. That is a very, very interesting documentary on Netflix. I love watching documentaries, and yeah, it's very interesting. I can suggest you watching it. Some of the people who spoke there are still on these kind of medications. Some even still use Xanax. But I think the two therapists suggested to get off these medications. And one said right before the ending of the documentary, the best thing against panic attacks and anxiety and so on is, I think the English word is behavioral therapy. And that's exactly the therapy I did. So you have a problem. Sometimes you can't solve the problem, but you can learn how to deal with it and to get through it without medication, without numbing yourself. And I spoke about my panic attacks here and there on the podcast, but after watching this documentary, I thought I have to talk about it again. So I really had bad panic attacks, and before I found out that these are only panic attacks which aren't harmful for you at all, before that I thought I will die. I thought I will die from a heart attack. My heart was hurting and bumping fast, and I thought I wouldn't get oxygen, so I was breathing very quickly, but the feeling that you can't breathe comes from the fact that your lungs are filled already, because you were breathing a lot, because if you're stressed, you breathe a lot. So your lungs are filled, there is no space for additional oxygen, and that is why you think you can't breathe, but you can breathe. You have enough oxygen. The key is to breathe out. So I think it's in English the same as in German. Breathe in and breathe out, and the key is breathe out. You have too much of it in your lungs. And so when I found out that these attacks are only panic attacks and I can do something against it, I was so relieved. That doesn't mean they didn't come back, and I had to find out what my triggers were, because sometimes you get a panic attack or in the midst of a very calm and relaxed day. It's not that there is this one trigger and immediately you have the attack. It can take days after it's also not only one trigger. Okay, let me tell you. Sorry if you're not interested. Fast forward, but I think it's very important. We all have a baseline regarding the stress level. And sometimes we have to go above this baseline stress level that we enjoy. So we have busy times, we all know that. But if you do this constantly, if you are constantly above your baseline, then there is this red line. Don't go over the red line. So, and if you constantly are right below this red line with your stress level, can have different reasons. It could be stress at work, it could be you had traumatic events, or you lost someone you loved, or it can be many different things. And you're constantly under this, very close to this red line. A small trigger is enough. You are used to the higher stress level because that's the way you live. You are consuming the news all the time. You are online 24/7. You work additional hours every day. You have arguments with your husband or whatever. You are used to it already. And then there is this one tiny trigger that gets you over the red line, and that can be a burnt cake in the oven. And all of a sudden you get a panic attack and ask yourself, what's wrong? I mean, why do I cry now because the cake burned? That's silly. Yeah, because you didn't realize that you were going over your baseline all the time, like for weeks, for years maybe. So that means you have to change your behavior, you have to change your lifestyle. Taking a pill against it won't help you. It won't help you. It will help you in the moment, maybe. Yeah, I guess. But you will get used to this help from your pill. And you won't feel nice and well if you don't get the pill. And then you think, okay, it's easier to take the pill. It's harder to change your lifestyle. It's harder to work out. It's harder to make time for walks in nature or for things you love, to do things you love. Yeah, it's harder. It took a while. It took very long, and I was a teacher back then, and it wasn't funny to have a panic attack in front of the class. So I had to try to make sure the students don't realize what's going on. So they had their assignments, and I was making my breathing techniques, and they never noticed me having a panic attack because I always found ways. Or I had panic attacks in the car. Yeah, so yeah, I had to find ways to deal with them, and I was training that, and now I know I know my stress level I can handle for how long, and I know what I should avoid. I know how to build up resilience, but I wouldn't have learned it if I took pills against them. I'm talking about that because that seems to me to be a very big difference between the US and Europe, or let's say Germany and Austria, because in Germany and Austria the people don't like to take medicine or drugs. Sometimes it's irresponsible not to take them, but mostly the people try to do everything they can to solve the mental health or physical health problem without medication. So that's just another mindset we have. But there are reasons for anti-depression medicine or anti-anxiety medicine, I'm sure. But I just wanted to tell you my story because I didn't have to take them. It wasn't easy. No one says life is easy, but it was that was empowering me. Now I know I can deal with these kind of things. I can struggle through, and I build up resilience for the future, because life won't get easier. It's the opposite. Life gets harder, and the next trigger will be there, and the next stressful time will be there. And I'm ready for it now because I trained it. And I motivate you to do the same. And here comes to knitting. So let's go over to our knitting content, because knitting, crocheting, weaving, coloring, making music, reading, hiking, whatever, is very, very helpful to build up resilience, to have flow moments. And that is the best way to avoid anxiety or panic attacks. I mean, you can stress about your knitting, sure. Then maybe you should do something else, because I was now not anymore, but back then I was stressing myself out because, I need to finish that. I need to have more finished objects, for example, for the podcast. Why I'm such a slow knitter. I need to accomplish something that was in a lifetime where I thought I haven't accomplished enough for my age, for the stage in my life, whatever, or the phase in my life. And so I took this stress into the knitting. That was so stupid, but that was how it is. So I needed something else for flow moments, and that was when I discovered coloring, adult coloring. Flow moments, you get flow moments in things where you involve yourself completely without overstraining yourself. So you should be completely focused on this one thing, for example, coloring, so that you can't think about something else, because while you are relaxed, you can't be stressed and you can't have a panic attack. And the stress hormones can get out of your body, you know? So, and for me it was coloring, because I had these books. I knew I am not working on a masterpiece I will give away or I will show off, because they will be hidden in a book in my shelf. No one will see it. That means I'm just focusing on having fun, picking colors and trying to not go over the lines and add here and there shadows and perspectives and so on. But there wasn't this pressure on me. And it was enjoyable. And it reduces your blood pressure. You don't think about your worries and sorrows of life. And after half an hour or an hour, the panic attack was gone. And I could go on with my life. So sometimes I was in the middle of a thing I had to do. I don't know, doing laundry, preparing the shopping list, preparing school lessons, whatever. I was doing something. I was planning something. I was working. And then the panic attack hit and I immediately stopped. And then I went for a walk. If that wasn't possible, I met people. Surround yourself with people and just talk with them and have fun with them and go out and see something else and see other people. If that wasn't possible, I was coloring. So I sat down, took my pencils and colored. And when I felt it was getting better, I was going on with my task I had to do. So yeah, that was very helpful. And knitting can be the solution for you. Or if you say knitting is too stressful for you, or you are too used to it. For example, what was helpful for me as well was learning to crochet, because it was fun. It was with yarn. I had the tools. I didn't have to buy anything, but I had to concentrate much more than with knitting, because knitting is autopilot for me. Crocheting, I had to read the instructions, I had to focus, I had to read back, I had to concentrate. And while you concentrate, you can't worry. And that means you can't get a panic attack. And your body is able to relax again. The stress hormones go out of your body. The symptoms go away you had. And you can move on with your life. So, sorry if that was too long, but I think it's a very important topic. And in December, I'm sure many people get panic attacks or anxiety attacks because of crowded places, because of stress, because of money problems, because of so many things. It shouldn't be, because it should be the happiest season of all. It should be the most magical season of all. You should enjoy it. And maybe these tips from me are helpful for you. It helped me a lot, and still does. Now, after this monologue about panic attacks, I want to show you I want to show you my 2 Christmas socks I couldn't show you last time. You know, I showed you all my Christmas makes in one of the episodes, and 2 pairs of socks were in the laundry. No, 1 pair was in the laundry and 1 pair was on my feet. And now they are washed. And here is the first pair. It's again Volbut. It's one of my favorite Christmas socks pairs. Pair. It has golden lurex or stellina. I actually don't know what the difference is. I always say stellina because everyone is saying stellina, but I think this is called lurex, and it seems to me there is a difference. I don't know. I like heavy sparkling yarn a lot, and it has golden sparkle. I like the traditional Christmas colorways. Oh, it smells so good. It's freshly washed. Yeah. And the second pair is from the same company, the same yarn base, the same color palette, but with blocked stripes, and they were so much fun to make. They were so much fun to make. Okay. I tried to make them look nice because they were scrunched up in my sock container. Okay. Ta-da! Yeah. I wanted to show them. So I think I have... No, I forgot. I showed you 8 pairs. Oh yeah, I showed you 8 pairs and I have 10 pairs of Christmas socks. But some of them I usually don't wear, or not that often, because of the reasons I told you in the episode. Then I want to show you the next clues of my this year's Advent mystery knit along, the cowl we knit in Christmas opal colors. If you don't want to see the clues up to clue 7, please look away. I tell you that you can look again. I will show it now. Wait. So, okay. I haven't woven in the ends yet. I have to do that. So I stick inside. Clue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Red is difficult for the camera. 6 and 7. Okay, you can watch again. The cowl is gone. Now what I have been up to. I was knitting on this one opal sock, the Skippy socks. I think it's called Skippy socks, yes. It's from the subscription from, what was it? March or May? Wow! What is that? There is a very big and beautiful bird. I have to look that up. I have never seen this bird before. Now he's gone. Wow! Here is the ball. And here is the sock. I have turned the heel already. Here is the pattern. Wait. Yeah, here you see the pattern. It's only over 10 stitches. You can find all my projects and so on Ravelry. On my projects pages, and this is a pattern on Ravelry. If you're not on Ravelry, unfortunately you can't get this pattern. It's only on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. It's very simple and very effective. I love simple and effective patterns. And here is my progress keeper from Cupcake Creations on Etsy. And this is the English Christmas pudding, right? Because when I was a child, I was confused that it's a cake, but it's called pudding. But I think because in the Christmas Carol movie I like so much, the cake is round, but it's black or very dark brown. It's my goal to make one like this in the future because I connect so many memories with this movie, and when she puts this cake on the dish and on the desk, she is so relieved when the cake turned out fine. Yeah. And the children were applauding and so on. Okay. Sock. Here is the heel, and I think I am finished with the gusset too. Let me count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. No, one decreasing round is left. And then I'm finished with the gusset as well. Today the new Opal shipment of the subscription should arrive. They are already late, but I hope it will arrive today. It would be lovely to show you the subscription yarns, to make a little unboxing, so to say. And I want to cast on something new again. And for that I bought additional set of DPNs. It's Knit Pro Symphony or Knitter's Pride. In the US, I love them. These are my absolute favorite needles. I think this set did cost 11 euro or 10 euro or so. They are my favorites. They are the 6-inch needles, so 15 centimeters. It's so much easier than to use the 20 centimeter, so the 8-inch. Less needle, less stuff to deal with. Lovely. And I have started a new project. I want to knit I call it cozy, for my water bottle, warming bottle. I showed this, you know, it's out of rubber material and you fill it with hot water, close it, and then you can take it with you to the sofa to warm you up, or in the bed or so. And I'm using Sweet Dreams by Opal. I bought this last year. I was planning to make a sweater out of it, but now I know I will prefer cropped sweaters. That means I can use some of the balls. I bought enough for a long sweater. This is how it will stripe. Okay, mine will stripe a little bit differently because I have a bigger circumference than for a sock. I will only knit plain stockinette. Here's the ball. 6-ply yarn, 150 gram. So it's sport weight, and I just cast on as many stitches as I think I need. And the end I will close this with a darning needle. I will knit for, I don't know how many centimeters I have. I don't have the bottle here right now. And then do decreases for the cuff of the bottle, so to say. Wait, it's so difficult to show you because it's rolling in. Yeah, I like the color. But I only did a few rounds in the cast on. I was able to concentrate on that and measure and calculate how many stitches I need. And now I know I have a stockinette projects for watching TV, for example. And the next is my blanket. I told you yesterday wasn't such a good day for me. Everything is okay, no worries. So I allowed myself to knit on my blanket. I allowed myself. I don't have to finish anything anymore. I'm done with the Christmas presents, and I was planning to enjoy my easy knits during Advent and Christmas. And here is my Cozy Memories blanket. So as you know, I'm knitting different colored blocks of 25 squares. So this is a light gray block. Wait. Here is the finished green block. And now I'm knitting a light gray. I was knitting dark gray before. And I will attach them all to each other, and it will be a very pretty blanket. And with this one I only have to knit 4 blocks and I'm finished with the blanket. And I can start another one. Yeah. Lovely. It was, I think yesterday I knit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 squares. And this is what I have left. Sometimes I have big leftovers. And sometimes I have only small leftovers. But most of the time I have big leftovers and I can put them into another scrappy project. I think it's... Oh, the bird is back. I will have to take a photo. Oh, please stay. Please stay. Wow. He is so pretty. Very, very fat. But so cute. He's looking at me. I have never seen such a bird before. And we have many birds here. Okay, what was I going to say? I don't know. So I can use the scraps in other scrappy projects. I wanted to say that it's getting very sunny here and the bird is back. I'm sorry. He's distracting and he looks at me again. And he's gone. Okay. It's very sunny. I hope it's not too bright. Much fun. I haven't woven in the ends yet because I always wait until I have attached the square next to it so I can weave into the ridges in between. That's why you see many ends dangling down. Usually I'm very good at weaving in ends. But I have to wait for ridges to be able to do that. That is that. Oh yeah, and my Christmas sock. My mystery knit along from last year. This is the first one. And now I am at clue 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. So at this one I have to do this pattern. That's also very much fun and I love opal. There is such a big difference between these merino yarns, hand-dyed, many hand-dyed merino bases and the opal sock yarn base, because opal is a little bit thicker and it's so much easier to go into the stitch with the needle, so it's a little more enjoyable. But I love the hand-dyed yarns because they have so pretty, so pretty colorways. And two things I want to show you. I will first show you my awesome tool container, knitting tool container I received from Christina. The last time I showed you it wasn't filled properly. Now I sorted every stitch marker, progress keeper, needle and all these things and put them in different boxes, and now I have everything I need besides a measuring tape. I can't fit a measuring tape in here. I will see, maybe I can cut an old one because I have a broken measuring tape. It's inside the case, it doesn't come out anymore, and maybe I will cut it to what is it, how many inches? Wait, 8 to 10 inches or so, because that is the longest usually I need for knitting socks. And if I need a bigger measuring tape, I will go to my basket. Now everything I need is in here. Progress keeper, clippy marker, stitch marker, the miraculous medal and another progress keeper, another progress keeper. I made this because it was a stitch marker I received last year, I think from Julie, and I made a progress keeper out of it. Wait. Yep. And here I have this thing for my interchangeable needles, you know, this screw thingading, a darning needle, my best darning needle, Sicherheitsnadel in German, I don't know how this is called, and a pair of scissors. And if you're wondering what this white thing is, it's magnetic. So, because I'm always in fear that I lose a sharp needle and Benny would hurt himself with it accidentally. let's talk about the Christmas Eve cast on. Last year I cast on Minecraft socks with this yarn, but as you see I had to unravel it because it's thicker than I thought, so I had too many stitches. The socks would be too sloppy, too slouchy for me. So I think, I'm not sure, that I will cast this on again for Christmas Eve and knit as planned the Minecraft socks. I wrote down cast on only 60 stitches because last year I did 64 as usually. And this is from Fondant Fiber, and I think she doesn't dye anymore, and that is such a pity because I ordered a lot from her and I loved her project bags, I loved her yarns, her ideas. She made a lovely sorting hat series. I loved her products, and it's called Happy Christmas Harry. It's lovely. This is so lovely, and I wanted to make something very special out of it, so I think I make a pair of Christmas socks. I don't know if I will wait until Christmas Eve or if I cast on earlier, and if I do, what will I do for the Christmas Eve cast on? I have no idea, so I will keep you updated on that. And now I have to pack some orders and get ready for lunch, I think. Oh yes, it's 11:30. That means we will eat lunch in half an hour. Yes, and I don't have to cook because I prepared an Italian sauce and noodles already. So we only have to warm it up. Great.